faith, belief in action. Wish TV is sharing the stories of people who are guided by their faith from all religions, denominations, and walks of life, and in all the ways faith manifests itself. From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is Finding Faith.
Welcome back. Christy Heath was diagnosed with breast cancer at, get this, 28 years old. She fought and won that battle, but the side effects she continues to battle. Christy, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so we mentioned that the battle continues. Explain what happened. I know that's a long thing to be able to explain, but from the moment that you battled cancer to this point.
I started at age 28, like you said, diagnosed stage 4.
Yeah.
And went through surgery. It was successful. Went through chemo, radiation, everything they could throw at me because I had so long for it to come back. So I went 15 years cancer-free. And that was great, just kind of moving on. And then all of a sudden I was slapped in the face with a lymphoma diagnosis, which they said the breast cancer can sometimes turn into that.
Sure.
So I had that stage 4. And at the same time that they were staging that, they discovered a little bit of breast cancer in my system.
Oh my gosh.
So they treated both at the same time. And when that was finished, I opted for a double mastectomy and reconstruction because I didn't want to do the breast cancer thing anymore. I'm done. And so the lymphoma never goes away. So it's just in remission, and it has stayed that way since then. So we're thankful for that.
Yes, very thankful.
But going through chemo multiple times caused me to have an autoimmune issue with creating blood clots. And they are silently being created, and they just pop up wherever they feel like it. They're not breaking off from anything. They just form. And so I had several of those constantly plaguing me, not really knowing that's what was going on. And they finally discovered it in Dallas, where we lived. And they said that I needed a 5-organ transplant. So because the clots had clotted up all the organs, the veins, and the tissues involved. So they said, well, there's only 4 centers in the U.S. who do it, and these are the ones. And, you know, so I had no idea. I'd never had or known anybody to do a transplant before. So I asked them point blank. I said, where would you go if it was you or your family? And they said, IU. So up we came. In 3 weeks, we packed up the house, sold it, moved up here, and got listed. And I was on the list for almost a full 2 years.
Wow.
During that time, I battled more blood clots in my lungs that were very dangerous. I was lucky they weren't fatal. Even after they put me on blood thinners, more clots formed, and so I'm very special. I can form clots on blood thinners.
Nice job. Right?
I love being special
that's
like
a good
that.
one to be special at. Yeah. So, thankfully now you're healing from those surgeries and from those transplants, which
it was one transplant all in one.
One transplant all at the same time. So not just one organ; they did all five at one surgery. Now, though, we're working to get some help for you, right?
Yes.
In the form of a 4-legged friend.
Explain
what's going on here.
I was reading, people were telling me, could you use a service dog? Would that be helpful? And I thought, well, I can move, I can do things. You know, I don't need mobility help. Yeah. And I'd never heard of a service dog being able to do this until I found an article. And I stumbled across an article of a dog that was trained to detect blood clots and internal bleeding.
Oh, wow.
Through scent detection. And so I was on the hunt for who can do this. I went through the entire U.S. I called every service dog company, and nobody did it. So I wound up going to Canada, and they had a company that does it. And so he forwarded me to one of his top trainers in Toronto. And so Jax, she was socially trained in New York City, so she can handle anything. And now she is being medically trained to detect blood clots and bleeds before doctors can, because by the time you get a symptom, it's already too late. So she can detect them forming before we know it's happening.
I imagine that will give you some form of at least a little bit of comfort and peace mentally, right?
Yes. Yeah. And she'll also be able to detect cancer and all that because of background and so forth. So
they are very expensive, so we're going to have information for you guys on our website, lifestylelive.tv, to help them out when it comes to getting a pup that can really be life-saving. Hopefully we never run into that situation.
Exactly.
But it's certainly going to be nice to have a 4-legged friend to maybe be there to help you with that.
Yes.
So, Christy, thank you so much for being brave enough to come share your story. It's an inspirational story, and it's a tough one, but your smile just
we're still going.
Yeah, I love it. Wonderful meeting you. Thank you so much, Christy. That smile, guys. I can't get over it. Like, if that was me, I'd just be moping all the time.
It's just incredible what a dog is able to do that. And like you were talking about the peace of mind to having that with all that you've been through. That's amazing. Thank you guys for sharing.
From Wish TV, this is Finding Faith. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast, and be sure to check out other great podcasts on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Online now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.